This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
It's day 10 on the picket line for striking General Motors in Wentzville, and today they got some reinforcements from Washington. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Congresswoman Cori Bush was joined by Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and they just held a solidarity rally at the Union Hall. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live in Wentzville with more on all this. Laura.
Hey, Mike, both congresswomen shared their support for local 2250 workers who are headed into their second full week on the picket line. They say they still have no deal with General Motors and are appreciative of the support here. The congresswoman spoke to hundreds of people at the Union Hall who are energized and ready for another week of walking the picket line. I talked with several workers off camera who say they're hopeful they'll reach an agreement soon. Some of them tell me they're still doing okay financially and supporting each other through this as they fight for a better contract, including things like raises to deal with inflation and more time off to support their families. The congresswoman pledged to do everything they can legislatively to support unions in this fight.
We do not pledge allegiance to greed. We do not pledge allegiance to Wall Street. We do not pledge allegiance to corporate profit. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America, to our fellow man, to the betterment of all people. And that's why we are here today.
Coming up tonight on the news after football, I'll have more from the union on where things stand as they head out for another week on the picket line. Reporting live in Wentzville, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
And we're just hours away from nurses walking off the job and onto the picket line at one of our area's busiest hospitals. Tomorrow morning at 7, the nurses at St. Louis U Hospital will go on strike for 24 hours. This afternoon, they gathered to make picket signs. 94% of the National Nurses Organizing Committee at SSM Health SLU voted in favor of a strike, citing concerns over patient care, safe staffing, and workplace violence.
We basically are here because SSM has told us time and time again at the table that everything's fine and we like it the way it is. And we're telling them over and over and over, it is not fine. It is not okay. Something needs to change.
The nurses gave hospital leaders 10 days notice of the strike so they could make alternative plan for patient care. SSM Health claims the nurses are the ones who refuse to come to the bargaining table. All quiet right now in downtown St. Louis, but some showers and isolated storms have been developing to our south and west this afternoon. Weather First meteorologist Jim Castillo is tracking those showers. Jim.
Yeah, hi, Mike. Good evening. We have the cold front never really made it through here, and we have the remnants of Ophelia along the eastern seaboard. So the front really is taking its time getting through here. And on top of that, it's dissipating. So what we have is a warm, humid day. And right now on the Doppler weather radar, most of that shower activity, like Mike was talking about, is to our south and west, and an isolated storm popping up right there around Steelville and just to the east of Cuba. Nothing severe, but maybe some rumbles of thunder and some downpours there. Otherwise, some plain old showers. Forestell to Wentzville now getting in on that, and probably a moderate shower right around Troy. That just popped up. And then you see good soaking rain, Perryville to Sparta to Nashville, Illinois. So they're out there, but we zoom into the metro. Not much is going on. We can't rule out an early evening shower. And look how warm it is, 84 after a high today of 87. Much more on our forecast for the rest of the week coming up. Mike?
All right, Jim. 3 people are dead after a wrong-way driver caused a 4-car crash on I-44 in Franklin County. The crash happened just before 10 this morning in the eastbound lanes near St. Clair. The crash shut down the interstate for several hours. We're told the wrong-way driver was killed, along with a driver and a passenger in a second car. No word yet if people in the other cars were hurt. That crash remains under investigation. A big mess tonight for a Jennings homeowner after a car came crashing into the front of her home. This happened late last night at the corner of Jennings Station Road and Halls Ferry. Police say the driver was attempting to make a turn when they lost control. The homeowner was asleep at the time, and the car came just inches from her grandson, who was in the living room.
Oh boy, the impact was so hard that it woke all of us up in the house. Good thing he was more closer to the closet, sitting in the chair closer to the closet, because he was able to jump over.
Fortunately, no one was hurt. The homeowner tells us she's seen several accidents at the intersection since moving into the home 3 years ago. No word yet on any charges in this crash. The Afton man shot by police during a shootout has died. 59-year-old Carl Shuey died last night at a hospital. He was shot Wednesday night outside his home on Rambler Drive. St. Louis County Police say Shuey was on the front porch and raised two guns at officers. They exchanged gunfire. No officers were hurt. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is suing a South St. Louis clinic, accusing it of violating state laws on providing gender-affirming care to minors. The lawsuit says Southampton Community Health Care is providing puberty blockers and hormones to minors without a comprehensive mental health assessment. That's required under the Adolescents from Experimentation, or SAFE Act, that went into effect last month. Tonight, Congress remains at an impasse on a government funding deal. Federal departments and agencies have already begun planning to bring non-essential services to a halt if the deal is not reached by next weekend. Rob Kirkpatrick has the latest developments.
The clock is ticking on Congress to pass a deal that will fund the government. But with less than a week to go, there's still no deal in sight to avert a shutdown. During a call with the Republican conference Saturday afternoon, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy pushed members to rally behind a short-term spending bill.
I think we've made some progress to those who have been holding up passing the rule to get onto these bills.
President Joe Biden weighed in on the quickly approaching shutdown deadline over the weekend, calling on House Republicans to, quote, start doing the job.
Funding the government is one of those basic responsibilities of Congress. And it's time for Republicans to start doing the job America elected them to do.
Should Congress fail to pass a short-term spending bill to keep the proverbial lights on, a shutdown could have enormous impacts on all Americans, which both sides agree would be harmful.
We're going to make sure that we can get a vote done, and that means getting the support of both sides to the table.
We're going to do whatever we need to do our job to keep the government open, because our district, and Josh's as well, our district wants us to keep America running.
But that path has proved difficult. A number of GOP hardliners are opposed to any short-term spending solution. Their Republican colleagues drawing a line, calling out those responsible for the failed negotiations.
The arsonists have lit their house on fire. They're whining about their house burning. They're going to want credit for putting the fire out, and then they're going to set up a GoFundMe to get paid for what happened.
I'm Rob Kirkpatrick reporting.